it's up to you.
Oh, yeah.
And those are all steps in her continuing to do the right thing.
Oh, yeah. She listens to her paw. See? She listens to her paw. And the bro.
Look at how handsome he is and how pretty she is. Look how she's looking at him.
She love her brother.
Hey!
Yeah.
I was like, you look on pink top on. You gonna have people too excited.
You know what? Hey, how you doing?
Okay, I got to say before they say it.
When I say jousted, that's who got baptized.
You understand?
What?
Before
So you know what making up nothing?
Wait, did any of y'all bring a headphone to
Oh, no.
I didn't bring mine.
Did you tell the, what's her name? Whitney?
I think I should. I'm a texter.
Yeah,
Oh, we didn't. I missed everybody. I know. I have to see how was your trip. It was great. It was chill. It was everything it needed to be. It was great.
That's good. That's good. You look revived.
1 2 1 2.
Exploration into why you and your girl just can't relate. The world is too you leave. Maybe y'all can make it work, and if not, he can tell you exactly how to tell him to kick rocks. Intelligence with
Thank you. Minutes. What uppers? I see you guys coming into the chat room. ZoWilliams about to get motherfucking busy. Who ordered busy? ZoWilliams about to get busy in this motherfucker.
This is the death of relationship dumbasification.
Can you guys hear the music?
With the voice of reason.
Let me know right now if you can hear the music. I want to see yeses, thumbs up if you can hear the music. Let me know. We got a powerful show. I want to know. VOR. Let me know. Thumbs up and yeses. Voice of Reason on Foxhole Radio. Hey. Nice. Nice. I want to know if you guys can hear the music. Let me bang this shit a little bit. I want to bang it so y'all can hear it. Thumbs ups. And yes. Yes. The shit. Woo. Mimi in the building. You already know what it is. Motherfuckers is about to cut up. You know hey, 2 minutes before showtime. You know what you got to do. I need everybody to like, share, and super chat. It's important that we do all of those things. Jeremy Perry, let's hit us with $40. We appreciate it. Thank you, Jeremy.
You and your girl just can't relate. The world is tuned in to the voice of reason, blowing up the foxhole every Thursday evening. If your man is tripping, then talk to Zoe before you leave. Maybe y'all can make it work, and if not, Williams, the voice of reason on Foxhole Radio.
Classic. 60 seconds before showtime. Share, like. Oh, shit, Whitney.
Hey Zo, I'm calling your show, 'cause I
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light.
I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of black love still exists. What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I would like to kiss a woman's ass. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. But it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
ZoWilliams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know. The voice of reason has returned. Classic voice of reason soundtrack in the background. This is what it sounded like on the Foxhole many years ago in its original incarnation. But we're bigger and better now, goddammit. In the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, we are bigger and better. And I got some shit for y'all. We got a great topic. Scratch us. Because there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean? Get you thinking about the real world.
The pressing comb is out.
About life and shit. You want to dig? Listen, we got a full house. Mimi riding an ancient Egyptian. She's just perfectly situation. But you know, I like to be like, fuck it. We're going to do a promo and we're going to do it at booty level.
Selling all that product.
I'm just saying, he did a promo and he got down at booty level and turned Mimi sideways. I said, well, damn.
Hey.
All Morgan Freeman did was crack a joke.
No, he didn't.
Listen, Mimi's in the building riding shotgun right now.
What's up, y'all?
Y'all know what it is. Keeping it real with Mimi. Thursday night, 7 to 8.
Over there, Zo's in the building. Shoot, doing it.
I showed up to talk a little shit every now and again.
Yes.
Every now and again, I show up, talk a little shit.
Yes. And he be talking it too. You know, in his busy schedule. So you know what I mean? That's all love.
Man, we love Mimi. So Mimi's in the
Love
building.
you too, always.
We got Froatia.
Hey.
Oh, shoot, in the house.
Hey, I love it. Tiff Talks in the building. You already know who she is and how she gets down. She's going to keep it real. She's going to tell the truth. Sometimes she tells too much truth.
It's real. I do.
We're going to change her name to Miss TMI. So all you motherfuckers running around hiding and trying to front like you something you not. This motherfucker right here be telling the truth. Tiff Talks in the building. Yeah, nigga. And then freaky, judgmental. She's like a horny ass fuck under these conditions.
Hey, fucking comes with conditions, damn it.
Did Jesus sign off? Oh, no. Because I only fuck. That's how you got here.
I'm gonna tell my son now. He gonna be.
Oh, well, first off, they named her in the chat room Miss Peaches.
Mm-hmm.
Keith in the building. What up, Donnie?
Hey, y'all. Missed y'all.
Yeah, and then back in the day, Chicken and Waffle Media Radio. What the fuck kind of radio was we on? Has returned to the building.
Hey, what's poppin', man? Yo, we started out with Roscoe's, yo.
See?
And hi, Voice of Reason family. I'm back. I'm excited.
That's
Ooh,
right.
and like Zoe said, we got some real shit to talk about. Let's go.
Oh, this shit about to be crazy. So listen, as you know, before I get into the topic, man, of Total Package Energy.
All right.
For the month of May.
Whoop, whoop.
Listen, man, I'm trying to tell y'all how serious and how good Total Package Energy is. It's not a game. Neural enhancer, no sugar, no carbs, B vitamins, amino acids, or all three, motherfucker, in this economy. You better get some goddamn Total Package Energy. Workouts, Total Package Energy. TotalPackageEnergy.com. Go there right now. Tell them. The number I'm putting out today, June 1st. Let's start off the month of June with a bang. Let's get 50 cases. It's more than 100 people in here right now. And people are going to continue coming in. It's more than 50 people in here right now. Get 50. All right. I got other things to promote. For the people who haven't gotten their Love Matters Revealed CD,
Do it.
don't worry. I'm sending them out, or I sent out a couple of copies today. I'm going back to the post office tomorrow. With myself and Dr. Alan Berger. I mean, you could get this.
Dope.
The digital version is available on cdbaby.com, or you can order the ZoWilliams.com and order your copy of Love Matters Revealed CD. It is Hot Monkey Grits instead of lava. Hot Monkey Grits. Can you imagine? The relationship dismount. How to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. We ended the month of May with 24. We need to hit the 75 goal.
Yes.
I want to hit the 75 goal.
Me too.
Right.
That's
Paperback
right.
version. I am no longer responsible for mailing right now. We want to get 75 in the chat room. See Humble, Texas, showing love to the VOR family. He hit us with $24.99.
All right.
We appreciate it on the super chat. Listen, Dash Radio listeners, for all of you people wondering who I'm this show live on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/. Chance to see us live. You get to see the beauties in the building along with the beast. I have promoted enough. Are you ready for today's topic? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's listening to the voice of, because this is how I'm gonna frame the conversation.
Okay.
Is the concept of 323-230-4610. I know y'all niggas want to talk. I know. Let me say that again. Is thinking realistically the same as thinking small? That's the number to dial. Call us. We want to hear your opinions as well. If to adjust their aspirations. In other words, allow them to get 2304 negative side effects to thinking enormously. Who remembers that motherfucking episode? You remember that one nigga? Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Smokey Robinson, and Marvin Gaye wrapped into one.
Mm-hmm.
He was. There we go. We're getting. Are there any side effects to thinking enormous? What is living smaller? And can Black life this is ooh. This is ooh. Topic today. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Hold on a book. But I want you to think inside the box, and then I want you to find a doorway outside of the box in which you think, oh my God, thinking big. Look at the importance of mindset. Question. If tax cuts are expected to be cut to 2.6 trillion, consequence of not shrinking your outsized life. At me right now. If I'm asking you to think smaller. Oh my God. This shit is about to be crazy. This is a hard question. How does Black family relations that keep you in a box? Are your bigger thoughts harmful? 323-230-4610. Somebody. They're trying to get it together because they have answers. They want to speak the truth. True or false? You can create a vision. Business, finance, health, relationships, recreation, spirituality, giving, and any True or false? You
True.
absolutely. I know you wanted to come out. I know you wanted to.
He kept waiting.
Oh, I wanted.
Well, we should.
Focus, though.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of reason. We're live. True or false? You. Fact. Sometimes thinking big and obsessing over the thought and ruminating on the thought will prevent you from getting started. 30, 46, 10. Ladies, I have framed this topic perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking realistically. Mimi.
Setting themselves back because they're not actually going after things. They're just set in a kind of a where they're at. They're happy where they're at. I feel like, or they think big. I think those people, you have to be a realistic thinker bigger. I know that's not a word, but I'm making up some shit. But you got to be realistic with your thinking big, because you can't think that, let's just say that you are waiting tables at a restaurant, for an example. You cannot tell yourself, hey, next year though, I'm gonna be living in Beverly Hills right there on Rodale, or something like that. Whatever you're gonna do, but you're not gonna, perhaps, unless you win the lotto. That could happen if you got some stuff in place. But I'm saying be realistic with whatever your goals are, but then also shoot for the stars. I mean, me, myself, I shoot for the stars. I figure, shoot, I'm gonna make it up there somewhere. You feel me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not unrealistic, though. You feel what I'm trying to say? I'm not going to get a Bentley tomorrow. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm finna make it. You're dumb. You finna be broke, and you about to have problems because you made stupid moves, being too big. You know what I mean? You could be so big that you fucked your own self up, messed your credit up because you got something that you consumed that you really can't afford. You're showing off for Day and them, and showing off for this one and Big Mama, whoever else you showing off for.
Wow.
But really, you have to be realistic in your spending of money, because even though it seems like it's big, money goes so fast.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It has no stop process. When you think you got it, you actually will think to yourself, oh, this is not going to run out. Look at MC Hammer. I mean, you feel me? Like, look at all the money he had. He had all the dancers. That was a blessing for them, but that's doing too much big. Now look at where he is now.
You know what was cold about man? So in 2006, Kool Moe Dee produced his own television show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Alex Avant.
Oh, wow.
And Hammer was on the show. The show was called Spitfire. Like, if you can imagine the black version of Real Time with Bill Maher, with Kool Moe Dee as the host.
Hey, I bet that was
now.
dope.
That shit was so fucking lit. I got Exhibit to come on. I mean, it was dope as fuck. It was a dope ass show.
Up.
Right? And what was amazing about that show, we had somebody come on. It was Hammer. Hammer was on. And Hammer was talking about how he lost all that money. But it was cold the way he said it. He was like, well, yeah, I lost a whole shitload of money trying to help people. He was like, I had 30 million. Now I got 2. So he was like, I still got 2. So he was like, I'm still a millionaire,
Yeah.
So he made it clear that he got downsized, but he was still a millionaire. He made that clear. Like, he was like, okay, so I came hella way up. I got knocked hella way down, but I didn't get knocked all the way down to where I came from.
Right.
Yeah,
You get
I
what
can
I'm
still
saying?
eat.
He was saying,
I'm still living.
He was like, we're still good here.
Right. I'm still doing shows.
I love that, though. I love that story. You know what I mean? I loved it. So, crazy topic, ladies and gentlemen. What is the difference? Mimi just slapped us upside the dome piece. What is the difference between thinking small, thinking big?
Like, if your goal is to be successful at something, you can't shoot for what's already been done. Otherwise, you're not going to shine in whatever area that is, whether it's teaching, or, being a manager at a fast food restaurant. Like going small is really just selling yourself short, and you're looking for complacency. So I just don't even encourage that. Whereas to me, what I realize, a lot of people like misunderstand realistic. To me, when I teach people about realistic, I talk about action goals. Being realistic just means you can put a tangible action step to whatever the hell your goal or your dream is. Because you should be able to make a plan to how you're going to achieve that. Otherwise, only way to go. If we didn't have people that were dreamers that wanted to shoot big, we wouldn't have no new inventions. We wouldn't have nothing new. We would have no successful people.
Right.
If you were just happy with making $1 million, no one would know they could make 2. So that's how I look at shooting big. Like, if you're going to do something, like, go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, and the one thing that America really sold people was it's okay to not go big. Like, it's almost like it's selfish or you're a narcissist if you go big. No, that was just how wealthy people got you to convince yourself it's okay to be mediocre.
Right.
Because they out there killing the game.
I could smoke some of that. Not all of it is smokable, but there's quite a large amount of that was smokable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you felt what Tiffany was talking about was smokable, call me right now. Get into the vibe with this music right now. The Voice of Reason is live. Are you a small thinker, a realistic thinker, or a negative thinker? Call us right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Get in the vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down into town. You already know. Okay. I'm sorry, I had a quick music break. Tiffany, that was interesting. So, are you telling me that you have to be somewhat delusional to be successful?
Only if your goal is a grand goal. Like, of course, we need janitors. We need people who are going to do like regular shit, and that's okay. But if you're really someone who has projected yourself in the community or in your lifestyle or in your home or in, just in your life as someone who wants to accomplish something, the only way to do it is to do it big. And you have to be slightly delusional in order to achieve that goal. Yes.
My homeboys who do a show here called All Vibes Matter. Used to be Soul Searching from Android Ohm. They have a great show, All Vibes Matter. And what he broke down was, his name is Javier Laval. And what he said was all the real ballers are delusional.
Yes, absolutely.
They're fucking nuts. He said, look at Donald Trump. He's fucking insane.
Insane.
Right? He's delusional. He puts his balls on the table and dares somebody to smash him with a hammer.
Literally.
That's just how he lives his life. Like, these balls are exposed. Who would dare crack the shell of my balls? No one.
Right.
No one has the guts to smash these balls. They just live that way. Delusional. Steve Jobs, delusional.
Yes.
Right? Right? Delusional. But pragmatic.
Well, right. You're only delusional because people haven't seen you actually execute the dream or vision yet.
Right.
You're only crazy until the thing that you're talking about is made real.
Right. Even Bill Gates.
Right.
Well, I can't say Bill Gates.
Why not?
And I can't even say Steve Jobs now. Because a lot of times when we get exposed to new shit, especially from high-powered white folk, it be stolen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that goes back to Nikola Tesla and his relationship with Thomas. Who was it? Who was the motherfucker he had a relationship with? Somebody in the chat room remind me. I didn't learn so much shit I didn't forget. Thomas Jefferson? No. Who was it? He had a relationship with a motherfucker that what was the goddamn man's name?
You got me, though.
He was a white man inventor. Thomas Edison.
Oh, Edison. I was thinking the light bulb, but I was.
Thomas Edison. So Edison, I think, had either AC or DC. And Tesla came with either DC. Edison wanted to motherfucking corner the market and make sure everything stayed on the one that he created.
Mm-hmm.
But Tesla comes along and creates something to make them both work together. So now you got AC and DC operating at the same time. So what this motherfucker Edison did was pull Tesla in with him. Basically, Tesla was making all types of shit, and fucking Edison was putting patents on it and owning it himself.
Right.
Tesla died broke.
Mm-hmm.
Nikola Tesla died broke in the Waldorf Astoria Hotel.
Wow.
Broke.
Expensive ass hotel.
And the government came in after he died and took all of his inventions.
All of them.
So when you talk about free energy, well, free energy is Wi-Fi today. This nigga already had it back then. That's thinking big, right? But he was also thinking small. And I'll just own it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which one? Who was thinking big at that time? Was Tesla thinking big, or was Edison?
Edison.
I think Tesla was too. He just
did this in different ways. Some people
In
don't think
different
to
ways.
monetize their ideas.
Yeah, they both were.
Yeah.
You know.
Whitney Tabor, I want to know
Yeah.
your breakdown. What's the difference between thinking small,
Okay.
thinking big,
Mm-hmm.
and thinking realistically?
Well, okay. Realistically, let's just start with that one. If you realistically, maybe not everybody should be thinking this way. I'm just saying. Let me just start to stir this pot up a little bit. I think the definition of, thinking big just depends on your level of education. Kind of like your guy that you just explained. To me, he sounded, whoever the one who stole all the ideas, I think was thinking smarter, not harder, like my dad always says. Thinks, and that's how, work harder, smarter. I don't know. What
Work smarter, not harder.
Thank you. Oh, that's it. You figured it out for me. But I honestly don't think that any idea is too big or too small. It just depends on your work ethic, because realistically, we can have a million ideas. It doesn't matter if you have the ideas. Are you going to actually get up and make them happen? Because I got about 657 ideas that I've thought of that are like, yo, let's get tacos later. Sounds like a great time to me. That sounds like a big mood I would love to be in later, but it seems like a small idea. So I really don't think that the realistic part, though, to me, that's something that I think a lot of people, they don't take in accountability when they're in their thinking process. Realistically, yes, I can think I deserve $1 billion because I bust my ass every day.
But
in reality, I probably ain't gonna get there. And it's okay to have that. You know what I mean? Because if you think really, really big and you die going so hard because you're trying to attain that $1 billion, realistically, we knew baby, you ain't that smart. You ain't gonna, some people ain't gonna get there because that's just the cards that they were dealt.
Right.
So I think the realistic part, more people need to maybe tune more into that.
Peaches?
You know what I mean?
I agree with Whitney and Tiff Talk. And Mimi too. I think it does.
You better agree with Mimi, motherfucker.
Right.
Fuck you
That's
think
my
this is?
motherfucking nigga. But the reality of it is, I'm hood. I can't help myself. I just let it out sometimes. But I think reality does matter because I'm a big thinker. I have to be a big thinker to do the things that I do. It's hard to sell artwork. I don't want to be Van Gogh dying broke with all these paintings in my closet, and now everybody's living and enjoying his artwork, and he didn't enjoy not a dime from it. Picasso was a big thinker, but a smart thinker. Picasso painted and made money while he was living off of his art, just like Monet. But obviously Van Gogh wasn't a big thinker. I'm a big thinker because I'm a comedian and an artist. I have to be.
How was Van Gogh not a big thinker?
He was a big thinker on canvas, but when it came to the business side, like we just discussed, obviously there was something lacking because he died with moth-eaten clothes.
Well, then I have to question you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the business thinker the bigger thinker?
It's like what Whitney said. It's not that they're a bigger thinker. They're a smarter thinker.
Well, how is that possible?
Because they're
Tesla
thinking,
was a bona fide genius on some spirit back into science manifestation kind of.
And I wholly agree.
So again, I think we're on the rail. We're against the fence here because now you're basically saying Edison was smarter. Was he?
He was smarter.
Was he more manipulative?
You got to be smart to be manipulative.
So,
you can't just outsmart a dumb motherfucker easily. I mean, it's not a hard task.
But the point that I'm saying is animals know how to manipulate. That doesn't make them intelligent.
It makes them smarter than that other stupid ass animal that let him eat his monkey. He ate his banana.
His monkey.
I was thinking of a monkey and a banana.
And ladies and gentlemen, just that quick.
My pussy thought came on my mind. I said
It's
monkey.
clearly, wow.
No, seriously, though.
The conservative nun just took us to porn. That animal let him eat his monkey.
I meant banana, motherfucker.
It's too late. You want your monkey eaten.
Here, Whitney, help me.
And it's starting to
Girl, yes.
starting to flow into
whoever's
the
getting that monkey ate sound like a smart big thinker to me. I don't know about y'all. Sound like a good time.
I just pictured Curious George and the banana. But seriously, though, whoever that other monkey was stupid as hell because he let him eat his banana. You can't be dumb when it comes to business. You got to investigate, research everything on all your ideas. I have a really big idea right now, and I'm doing the research for it.
I just like fucking with you. You know that.
I'm doing the research for it.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's like so big. So I have to really harness in my research.
Her little phone sex voice is cold, ain't it? Feel like,
This is my horny nun voice.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, see, all y'all here talking this bullshit right now. Do you agree or disagree with Will Smith?
What is it?
When he says you can't have a plan B.
Yes.
It's only a plan A. Is that smart? Is that thinking big?
Are we just going in? Are we going in? Are we going in rotation?
Yeah.
Personally, I agree a little bit. Look, can I toe in and toe out or no?
Ain't no fence work.
I mean, because I think if you go into something without having like an escape plan, then you're dumb. You're dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you
But is
just
the
like
escape plan basically saying this ain't gonna work?
Does
it come with the energy of this is going to fail?
So that having that plan B is going to bring the energy that's probably going to help fail whatever it is plan that you had. I do agree with Will Smith when it comes to that. But I also think that if we're talking about intelligence, it's kind of stupid for you to, I'm going to be the first human to fly, jump out and then be like, damn, I should have brought that dang, parachute.
You say that before you hit the ground?
You know what I mean?
Okay,
It's
cool.
like, and scene. So, yeah.
Interesting. Do you agree with Will Smith, Miss Peaches?
Sort of. I agree.
Ain't no sort of.
Okay. I agree
Let me just say this before you answer the question. The reason why I say it ain't no sort of, because Will made it an absolute.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutes do not reconcile in the universe. There are no absolutes. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not with me, then you're against me.
I agree totally with what Whitney just said. I think you do need to be realistic, period. Even when it comes to not having a plan B. You got to have, plan B can be the same plan as A, just altered slightly. Just altered financially. It could be dividends that are altered.
That doesn't make sense.
Well,
I'll tell you why. Can I tell you why?
Okay.
Because if you have plan A, and you have a different plan B, which is derivative of plan A, how do you know how to alter it unless plan A fails?
Well, if you depends on what your plan is. Me and my plan, I know that if I see that this money is not gonna be enough or too much for what I want to do, I can alter it slightly to keep my plan A going forward.
Then what's happened is plan B has usurped plan A. It is now upgraded to plan A.
Well, plan B better be an upgrade. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just pointing, that out.
Well, y'all plan A'ers better have a plan B that's
Will
better.
Smith told us that you can't have a plan B. You got to be all in, both feet, in your plan A if you wish to manifest it. But I say there's a flaw in that thinking because it deals in absolutes.
I agree.
Now, if Heisenberg can come to us with the uncertainty principle and tell us that at the fundamental level of reality, which manifests itself in this reality that we live in, that there is a certain level of uncertainty, how can you be absolute about anything? What about the uncertainty principle in your thoughts, in your aspirations? Somebody, Melanin Man said, what am I talking about? Go to the library, nigga.
Right.
You'll find out if you go to the library, my nigga.
Hilarious.
Get somebody else to pedal your mental bike for you.
Okay.
Nigga, this is the motherfucking Tour de France. Nigga, this ain't a tricycle I'm on. This is the Tour de France, buddy. All right, I'm sorry.
I mean, when did Will Smith actually say that?
That thing's actually
Because
over like 10 years old. It's been out
it
for a
is?
really long time. Yeah, I've had it out for.
No, but he says that a lot.
He says it all the time, yeah. But it's quoted like over 10 years old, and I actually adopted it like 6 years ago. And is what led to me coming to California actually.
Okay.
So like the example is like, let's say LA. There's a lot of people who have a secondary job to modeling or acting or music or whatever.
Yes.
And like Will's whole point is, if you quit whatever that damn side job is, and you say for like 1 year, the only way I'm gonna fucking pay these bills is by doing this thing I said I came here for, you're gonna grind so much harder and give it more effort than the person who has to ask it time off every time they get an audition, get their shifts covered, do this and do that, and you're trying to do the side grind while you're doing your main thing. So his point is to truly do something successfully. Like another saying that's really popular is you can be good at a few things or mediocre at many things or great at one thing.
So what he's really talking about is commitment to the thing.
Yes.
Not
commitment, diligence. Yes.
Not the way it's framed. How he says it is framed wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what Tiff just said, I 1000% agree just from experience. Like I was working as a bartender to pay my bills and also running a studio. And I finally said, I'm not doing this because I was too comfortable with the money. Because I was like, hey, I'm cool. I'm going to go turn up. I'm going to do all this. And I wasn't focused because I knew I was going to get paid. So from doing it, I actually believe in what Tiff said. Whatever, Will Smith, you're going to get your language together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, he framed it in absolutes, but like he's spoken about it a lot of times in a lot of different interviews, and that's the way he talks about it. Like, you have to be consistent and diligent and strive for that one thing consistently for you to be successful.
Right, and he says the same thing. If I'm on a treadmill and you're on a treadmill.
Someone may have more talent than me, but they will never outwork me. I will die on that treadmill before you will.
Right, he was like, I'll die before I get off before you. If there's a competition, I'll die before I get off, before I quit. So what he's talking about is stick-to-itiveness. He's talking about perseverance, resilience, right? He's talking about the grind and commitment and all of that. That's an alignment with Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
And mindset.
Anybody who puts 10,000 hours of work into a specific field becomes an expert at that field.
Yes.
I agree with that to some degree. I believe you need a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't believe that any field of knowledge can be consumed in just 10,000 hours.
No.
Because I believe that once you put the experience with it, now you're getting different subtleties and nuances that just the text, the information in that field doesn't reveal. So, but I agree with that. Working hard, staying committed is different than having no plan B.
Right.
Right.
And I think plan B is important because I used to believe this. I mean, one of my breakups came because, my girl was like, he don't have a plan B because I believed in what I was doing.
You got to have a plan B. I learned that the hard way too.
I believe you should have multiple streams of income. And you should make it happen on every levels of the game, because you don't know what's going to do what. Only God knows. Only the universe knows what's going to happen in the way it's going to happen in your life. And you could be gun-ho, like we could be even in a relationship on one thing, one person, and it could be the wrong shit. So first and foremost, you need to, I think, have multiple streams of income going. Therefore, you can know which one is going to blast off, because you really don't even know which one is.
So... No. Finish that thought, babe. I don't mean to.
No, I mean, even us all being here 10 years ago, we didn't think we'd all be sitting here together. The point I'm making is you don't know where life is going to take you.
Speak on it.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. You don't know what doors you're about to kick open and go through.
Well, and it's like a realistic thinking. You know what I mean? Like what is it? Put all your eggs in one basket, or
exactly.
don't? Like,
yeah. Don't.
Look, I'm just saying all the wrong everything today, but no, it's true. And honestly, if attaining money is your goal, then just like my girl over here said, we're like 7 sources of income, I think, is like the main, like that's how you become a millionaire, right? And that's really what it is. But you have to just go hard, just like plan A, at B, C, and D as well. You just have to find the time. So if you truly are a big thinker, you're not going to let any of that deter you from actually getting an outcome that's, amazing from all of them.
Tiff Talk.
Right.
I want you to give out some numbers, because black people, we got some fucked up ideas.
We do.
This paperwork, this paper, this is a scholarly paper that was put together by our own Tone Talks.
Who's in the chat right now.
He in the chat room turning up.
All right, now.
Always.
What up, Tone?
But him and Professor Darity out of Duke University put together a comprehensive 10 myths that black people really believe will help close the wealth gap, when in fact they won't.
Right.
Even in tandem.
Right.
This is how wide the gap is.
So wide.
Tiff reads on the air.
Oh no! Where do you want me to start? Lord Jesus! He didn't even have no bookmarks or nothing.
I do have some things highlighted. I mean,
well, there's a lot going on, so I'm like, what do you want me to highlight specifically over here in this 67-page dissertation?
Listen, in the first page, it jumps right into monkey knuckles up against black wallets.
So what? Just the introduction?
Just right. There's a couple of little underlying pieces.
You're
yes.
Hysterical. Fine. Recent data from the Survey of Income and Program Participation shows that black households hold less than 7 cents on the dollar compared to white households. The white household living near the poverty line typically has $18,000 in wealth, while black households in similar economic traits typically have a median wealth near zero.
So wait a minute. Black people, say it again, because that little piece was big.
Black people's household is less than 7 cents. Is at $18,000 in wealth, whereas black people's is at zero.
Okay, so let's stop for 1 second. They're talking about not the median white family,
right,
or the median black family. They're talking about the bottom line, the poor people.
Right.
So even the poor white people got $18,000.
When black people have
and
zero.
The poor black people got zero wealth. Okay, right. I just wanted you, that part. Keep going.
That part.
Right. The white poor people have 18K. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
That part.
All right. Because I'm going somewhere when it comes to thinking big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, wait. There's so many numbers though.
It's fine. Just find them and read them.
Right?
It's fine. Just continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, some of these they're hard to get verbally without seeing the number.
Hey,
like it's
sweetheart,
so many numbers.
Guess what, Tiff?
The 99th percentile black family is worth a mere $1.5 million, while the 99th percentile white family is worth $12 million.
Oh, hell no.
Wow.
That's a huge gap.
That part.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't thinking at all? Is that what we're saying?
That's a $10.5 million difference.
Right.
It's a huge difference.
You understand? Like, it's a real situation. And the reason why I point this out, because I believe that there are some great ideas out there.
Yes.
Like the Tulsa real estate fund that just came online, the IPO that's backed by the SEC. Overnight, they raised $4.5 million.
Wow.
That's something to invest in. That's
Right.
not, overnight.
Right.
They raise some money. What is it going to do? What is that fund going to do? I don't know. How do we grow wealth out of that? I need to be educated more on it. But to see that people moved on it strong, is positive to me. But what does that ultimately mean later on? I don't know. But when I look at those numbers, what I see is wealth, and the gap that separates white and black is an engineered gap.
Yes, absolutely.
Totally.
It's a socially engineered gap. It's a systemic gap. For instance, in real estate, they got some shit called redlining.
Yes.
That means you don't get to live here. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Right? In banking, this is what racism was about. Somebody said you can't call yourself a motherfucking racist because you don't have the power to enforce your negative belief about another race.
Right.
Right? So in banking, motherfuckers could just whisper quietly, let's not allow these niggers.
Right.
They didn't even whisper quietly. It was printed in brochures and disseminated across the country. It wasn't private. It's redlining for real. It was really red lines on paper in offices and shit.
And black women, women in general, couldn't even buy a house in Los Angeles without a man signing.
So now, now let me come back.
Right.
Thinking big.
Right.
Means what? See, what the nigga is chasing after, that dollar, guess what's happening to that dollar? It's being devalued every day.
Every day.
White people moving away from the dollar. Why the fuck do you think they even allow Bitcoin to come into existence?
Because they know our currency is dying.
So again, the dollar is dying.
Yes.
In value. The value of the dollar is dying. There, in history, every fiat currency that has ever existed has returned to zero. The dollar is on its way to zero.
Yes.
Right? So niggas are the Johnny-come-latelys of living well.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I know that hurt. The Johnny-come-latelys of living well. You trying to live a life that you see wealthy white people living, thinking that is the life to have. Oh,
Right.
I'm living my best life out here in Jamaica. Right? But again,
In Jamaica.
Not your best life.
no, but peep game. While that's happening, white people are shifting away.
Yeah, they're investing in foreign currencies, so their wealth continues to grow in a currency that's not failing.
But they're investing in something totally different, Tiff. This is the direction I was taking it. They're investing in what is called sustainability.
Yes.
Right.
So the big house that they've had for 40 years, for 60 years, for 100 years in their family, they're like, we don't need that no more. The nigga is still in aspiration of trying to get that.
Right.
Oh, I need the 12-car garage. I need the Mercedes Benz. I need the motherfucking BMW. I need all of these things. And white people are shifting away from that. They're saying sustainability. There's a motherfucking island in the center of the Pacific Ocean that is all plastic.
Right.
We're killing shit. We need to figure out a way to sustain shit. Whereas, like I told you, black people are behind in culture and they're behind in economics as well, and understanding what money actually means.
Right. Buying power does not equal wealth. And that's the huge problem in the black community. They think because they have the ability to purchase something that equals wealth. No. White people know that has nothing to do with wealth.
Well, I also think that black people don't like reporting to government agencies unless they need to. So first and foremost, all the information that we're talking about definitely is altered a little bit. And not from the standpoint of what's written, from the standpoint of black doing their taxes, they doing the minimal information they need to give to get by with this business. And they dude is over here doing what he do, and they doing all this extra stuff. They not reporting that. So these people aren't as that broke. I mean, they going through things. We not where the white people are. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's a lot not being reported. And that's just how black people are. Black people are not reporting all their information to you.
So
period.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. To come back, and then I'm going to throw to Whitney. White people are starting to think small.
Mm-hmm.
The electric car is thinking small.
Yes. Owning the company that creates renewable energy is what's
That's
sustainable.
thinking small.
Right.
Black people still thinking big equates to consumption.
Right.
Acquisition.
Right.
White people are saying smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Let me sell this big ass house.
Right. Downsize.
White people are thinking renewable energy.
Right.
They're thinking solar energy.
Thinking Prius.
Nigga, they thinking Prius.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what they
I don't
thinking.
need that Benz if I see another Prius.
Right.
But do you see how far
For real.
behind we are in the concept of what we think thinking big actually is?
Yes.
Now, when do niggas start creating shit like this? Uh-oh. A desalinization plant. That's what Israel is thinking. You know what? Fuck. We need a water source. Why not the ocean?
I don't know what this person's name is, but I actually do think it was a black guy that created one of the newest versions of the hydroponics.
There we go. That's what I want to hear.
But
that's the future.
But a lot of situations, they didn't have the resources to really develop it, and then those patents and those ideas get stolen or sold. So that's the issue with not having wealth within our community is we have a lot of ideas, but because we don't have the resources to make them come to fruition, we end up selling our ideas to someone else who can actually make them happen.
We gotta go to Papa White Pockets.
Exactly.
Well, and my thing too is I think to just to tack on, it's just I think we don't work together. So I think honestly not reporting what we're doing, that's something that I learned on a personal level. When you don't tell somebody what you're actually working towards, how can they help you grow?
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm creating a new hydroponic system for some, new weed strand or whatever, grow, and how can we keep our wealth together and think bigger together? Because that's the thing about thinking big.
Hold on. Let me just tell you something, Whitney.
Hop in here, Zoe.
The whole purpose of us getting money is to stunt and shit on other black people.
Right.
Nigga, you're wearing my grandfather's original design?
Right.
My grandfather is Versace, nigga.
Okay.
And they'd be like, oh, okay.
Dang. Well,
You can't stun on him.
I got a whole story for that. I had a dude approach me and my girls talking about, look at all this money, and he threw this stack in my face. And my brother once told me, if somebody puts a bunch of money in your face, you grab it and run. So
right.
Oh, wow.
Looked at him and I said, well, I have too much, and it's in the form of a plastic card. And he couldn't even respond. And I was totally making that up. I'm broke as hell, but I was in college. But it was just think bigger, my brother. You are walking around about to get jumped because all the dudes in this hood-ass club I'm in are about to take all the money. It's just stop it. Just stop it.
Wow.
That part.
Thinking bigger. Go ahead.
I just think that we need to start thinking, like Zoe said, white people are downsizing. I see Asian communities going up. If you look at Koreatown, I'm from LA. You look at Koreatown. I remember
LA shit.
I remember when Koreatown was just Wilshire District. Now they have malls. They've got a mall on every corner, condensed little malls, creating more pollution, creating more whatever. But they're thinking big because they're making their community bigger than the black community. Remember how Ladera Heights was, or Crenshaw? Now you don't see anything over there. So I think that we need to stop thinking more is more, less is more. Mm-hmm. A slow nickel beats a fast dime any day. I learned that being a barber.
You fucking
Hello. Hey, that's a t-shirt. Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of reason. I'm ZoWilliams. I'm here with the ladies. The ladies are sharing their opinions on thinking big versus thinking small versus thinking realistically.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fear-based people out here, man. You in the dig? A lot of fear-based motherfuckers out here. When it comes to business, fear-based. When it comes to intimacy, fear-based. When it comes to money, fear-based.
Right.
So it's a lot of motherfuckers in our community that are broken with regards to how they view the world. The world is formed around you. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. So I'm coming to you guys to say this. Is it realistic to say, first and foremost, most black people in America are descendant of slaves? Is that realistic to say?
That's a fact.
That's a fucking fact, right?
I was like, wait, are we on the same page? Wait.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So here we go with that fact.
Okay.
All right. Now, is it realistic to say that legislation, whether it be Jim Crow or whatever, has been enacted to keep niggas from being wealthy? Understand what I said. Not from having money, but from being wealthy.
Right. That's also a fact.
Okay, so peep game. so peep game. If that's happening,
right?
How is empire dreaming in that context without the knowledge of how you're being held down? There's a book out there called The Color of Law. Right. That whole book explains the systemic structure of keeping blacks and people of color away from wealth.
Right.
So if we don't understand where to start, how the fuck do we know where to build?
Right. Right.
I'm just pointing that out. Whitney?
Why do we have to have somebody tell us what we need to do?
Right.
I'm just saying the point of thinking
like
big.
this.
Listen,
like this.
If you're going to think big, why do I have to be put in a box? I'm not going to do it. So listen, if you have a dream or something that you need to get to, why is somebody else's definition of success or thinking even need to be in your thought process? I think that's a reason that's dumb. That's thinking fuck.
But
that's
this is a beautiful time for Whitney because she's so young and fresh.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
fresh. Okay.
But I'm saying that's a young and fresh thought process because the reality. Most black people are conditioned. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Most black people are conditioned to be toxic and ambitious.
Right.
So this is what I call toxic ambition. They suffer from toxic. We got to build something. What are we building? Where are we going? What do we have? That's not how you cultivate love.
Right.
Love is about observation. Observation of self-discovery. That's creativity too.
Right.
Did you know that most of the amazing ideas that come to you when you're not thinking?
Yes.
But you live in a society that is an anxiety producer, an anxiety factory. And you're anxious about how you're going to pay a bill.
Right.
About how you're going to cover what you need to cover. And not only that, but reach the next level of it.
There's no room for him in here. No, I'm kidding. He's coming to slaves right now.
I think is that people are brainstorming to wage the wealth gap. Is the issue is instead of trying to participate in a system that wasn't created created for us to participate in and trying to be part of a system that's not for us, white wealth, is that the real answer is without operating within your system. So once as a black community, we create a resource or an opportunity or a lens that's not operating within the context of white wealth is when we'll be free. Example, the person who created the vaccine for polio and he made it free. He fucked up the whole pharmaceutical industry because he's like, the only way I'm gonna release this patent is if you guarantee it's gonna be accessible to everybody for free.
Right.
And fucking cured polio for like 4 decades.
He's lit.
Right?
Wow.
Changed the game. They had to change pharmaceutical patents so that could never happen again. They don't even allow pharmaceutical cures to be free anymore because of what he did. He changed the game. So that's how black people need to think about the wealth gap. Like, why are we trying to make solutions still operating within a system that we already know is dying? The dollar is dying. So why are we trying to catch up in a system that's dying?
Let me ask this. Is it possible to be optimistic yet pragmatic?
Yes.
Because some people don't know how to balance pragmatism with optimism. A lot of times the optimism is blind and it's not supported by anything. As Tone Talks, who just joined us,
Oh shoot.
would like to say,
I didn't know who the hell just walked up in there. Sorry, I've been gone for a while.
As-
This is you? Hello, sir.
as Tone Talks would say, the black person has been conditioned to be aspirational. One day, we shall
how'd I know that was
overcome. If niggas is still singing that shit today, nigga, that's a song today. Let's not forget. The We Shall Overcome comes out in every protest, civil rights. We shall overcome. Nigga, for real?
The white protesters be like,
For real? We still singing, my nigga? I just need to know. Tone Talks.
What up, Zoe? You know, I want to say this though. ZoWilliams is a genius.
Yes,
No,
he is.
I'm saying that not out of anything like personal. I talk to him about like 4 times a week, and this man is intelligent beyond years.
Yes.
One of the things that's really a trip is people don't really understand this whole wealth thing isn't me guessing. Like, I spent 100 hours talking to Byron Allen. I think he might be the richest black man in America now. Y'all don't understand it. He bought the Weather Channel in cash for $300 million.
$300 million.
Wow.
And he said,
amazing.
and you can go check out the interview on my channel. I talked to him for an hour just to give y'all a little piece of it. And he said that we're in the middle of economic genocide. What you have to understand is that right now, where we're at, when we were born, right around 80, 81, the middle class, or the bottom 90, let's just say, of America, it took home 36% of the wealth, and the top 0.1 only took home 7% of the wealth. Well, during the Depression, both those groups took home the same amount of wealth, which is like 20%. That's bad times. That's when it's not enough wealth out there. Today, both groups are taking home around 22% of the wealth. There's not enough wealth in the bottom 90, and our group as African Americans are in the bottom third of the bottom 90.
Mm-hmm.
To be at the top of the bottom 90, you need to be worth like $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a trip because my show tonight I'm doing is on the Roseanne tweets, but I'm also going to be doing it on Shannon Dungy and what she calls Wish Fulfillment TV.
Wish
Hold up.
Fulfillment TV. Go deeper.
While Roseanne is in a house that's $130,000 that represents the reality of Evansville, Indiana. Blackish is in a home that's worth $2.7 million. $2.7 million. To buy a $2.7 million house, you need to put down at minimum $140,000. You need to pay $12,000. Those 2 kids, the older ones, the tuition on that school in Sherman Oaks would have been $40,000 a year. Understand this is why 2 people make $200,000 a year together. And so, like I say to you, one of the things that we have going on,
it's fantasy shit.
It's worse than fantasy. It's Wish Fulfillment TV. And so,
Wow.
like, what I'm saying, what's a trip is when I hear certain things. Everybody asks me about the Jay Morris, whatever Tulsa thing. That's cute. We address
I
it.
fuck with Jay.
We address it in the banking section. And in the banking section, I think that's myth. You can go pick the report up. This isn't all me. This is
We got it. Where is
No,
that
it's
my
right
report?
here. It's
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
Hey, don't leave with that, nigga.
It's highlighted and
So,
shit. I was like,
right.
ooh, I'm gonna read this
So
copy.
like in the banking section, what we address is all of this is conservative bootstrapism cloaked in Black Lives Matter. There's not enough wealth for black banking to be our answer. Understand that he still ain't told us what he gonna really do with it. It's just I watched the video and it was cute, and I'm just saying to you, like, on
Come
some
on,
level,
Tone. Get a man some more
He
credit
said
than that.
cute.
I
It
mean,
didn't make a lot of sense.
He raised $4.5 million overnight.
Yeah, that's
a
enough
lot
to
of
buy a couple
money.
pies, ice cream.
You know
I'm saying to you,
what?
where we're at right now is Black America is 20 million strong. We have 300,000 families out of 20 million that are worth $1 million. White folks, see, we don't understand that what's going on, the war that we're upon in terms of wealth upon our families. There are 83 million white homes. Almost 13 million are worth more than $1 million.
Wow.
As to, and even like Mimi, I heard the point that you made. What I would say is, what you find in the data is, we as much as there might be a slight underreporting, I would call it more slight, because we don't have we're not in Africa where we own resources and maybe they're underreporting the creation of some kind of like plants and things are like something big, like maybe it's in the jungles and we just ain't reporting that.
She said vibranium.
What I say is that what we see is more of an underreporting of poverty. So
well, I'm gonna just tell you this, and I'm not trying. I agree with the data, but I know a gang of people that make a bunch of money that they don't report.
No,
and I mean different people. Period.
But I'm saying to
in
you,
neighborhoods.
But I'm saying to you that out of
real shit.
What I'm saying to you is that there's 1 in 5 black men didn't work in 2016. But it's not really 1 in 5 because the nigga named Freeway that be outside of the Millennium, they didn't talk to him. So they underreported the poverty much more. The reality is, like, I think we see the problem with the methodology of saying there's these other black people that we don't know is we don't do the politics to understand. Be real about your cousin. Be real about your family around you. And if you have these millionaires that come in on Thanksgiving with 2 turkeys and all the macaroni, you just different than other black folk. There's a reason that black folks are suffering across this country. And I come back to the premise of the living smaller. I think a lot of us don't really grasp that Will Smith is talking real loose, that he's talking from another time. He got lucky. Like, he's talented, but his timing was perfect.
But he talks about that too. He talks about a lot of it was still luck. It was perfect timing.
That's Outliers.
It's literally one of his first episodes on his YouTube page.
But what they're doing for us is Roseanne versus Blackish.
Right.
So they're telling us stories that not only are aberrations. Look, for that family, this is a perfect lens, and I'll leave it at this. For that family to live that life, they need to be making $1 million a year.
Right.
By the BLS data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, maybe 0.02% of black folks in this country make more than $500,000.
Right.
That means, like, making $1 million. We're talking a crazy. Why are you on TV? Why is your state? Why are we not seeing the story of Mimi? Why are we not seeing the story of Tiff? Because we're saying that black folks don't want to see themselves. The actual reality, the struggles. We talk about the grind, and I agree with you, but the grind for a lot of us includes.
Roseanne family is more accurate than the depiction of the Blackish family.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's what. Okay, good.
Because white folks don't mind seeing themselves. Kids wear and clothes. We okay with Dan losing his business. We okay with all of the realities of white struggle. Whereas with black folks, our problem, I just told this to Pastor Cosby, who did Muhammad Ali's eulogy. I was in Compton with him, and he was doing a sermon, and his math was motivation, and it was motivation plus aspiration plus imagination plus liberation equals success. And what I told him, and he was talking about aspiration. He was talking about aspiration from an era that Mimi and Zoe are from before Google, where if you was in the ghetto, you didn't get to see no Ferrari, or you didn't get to see a big mansion, or you didn't get to, because the ghetto was kind of closed off. Our problem today isn't an aspiration limitation. It's an aspiration of what do you want money for? Do you want money so that you can lay down in a Ferrari, or do you want money so your kids can be stable, so your community can be stable? And where we're at right now is most people want money just to stun on other black folk.
I said that.
And that ain't gonna work.
And it's
That's
just
good shit. I
like what you said, Tone.
Right.
You look at the show Roseanne, the show The Middle, all the white shows that are popular, Married with Children, the shows that stay on for decades, all these white people are poverty stricken and their shows are awesome. You look at the black shows that stay on for decades, Cosby, Blackish, they're all well-to-do black people. So I think that's geared to miscross, the mentality of the youth. They think that ain't no damn Huxtables on our block.
I think the TV show Rock was a good depiction of who we were. Or
that
who
was
we are.
probably the
who
closest.
Where we're at now is
different.
You got to understand. Look, when you look at this thing, the bottom half of our race today, when you combine it all, is negative, and that's because of student loans.
Wait. Explain that to people, because you be speaking fast. I want you to slow it down. Explain. There's 14 million black families.
No, it depends on your family or household. There's 20 million black families, and let's just say the bottom half is worth negative because of student debt. We go to work, and but if you add in the student,
we have in
understand their life. This is the way you should look at it. Lineage plus current family plus income. You could be with a dude for a year and really don't talk about like what grandma gonna leave you or like none of that. All we talk about is income, lineage, current family is I look at it as though your brothers and your sisters, and then your children and your cousins around you. You know how many times they asking you for $100? Wow. How many times they asking you for help to get?
You already know.
It's all negative?
When it's that one motherfucker in the family that got bread, that phone is
it
hot.
all negative?
Right.
So then lineage plus current family. Income is the last one. And our incomes are stagnated, shrinking, not very big. What's happening right now is we live in a time, because of what I just said about wealth calcification, where that lineage is big as a room. And we don't really understand that you can't live in a $2.7 million house without lineage today.
Right.
You can't get the 140 to put down.
Right.
Understand that maybe they might like lineage allows you to inherit that. I looked at a house on La Brea and Melrose, and I'll leave it at this. In 1980, this white family bought the house on, it was like La Brea and Melrose. It was a regular lot like you would see in most parts, like Roseanne's lot. They bought the house for $160. It's worth $2.2 now.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. I need to ask you though, because there are people in the chat room. But this is my last question for you, because I know you got to go prepare for your show as well, which is coming on right after my show. Stay tuned. Do not miss it. It's a live show as well. Don't miss it. It's Tone Talks from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, West Coast. I mean, that's West Coast. East Coast, that's 10 to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Stay tuned. It's shit gonna be fire. But I need you to give us a concise definition of conservative bootstrapism cloaked in Black Lives Matter.
So essentially, you tell black people that it's their fault in a back alley way. We don't save enough. But none of the data supports that. When you actually equalize for income, most of this isn't me. Like I'm just trying to share with y'all. You can care. Look, the tax cuts are coming in 2019. If you do hair and you get an $8,500 refund because of your kids, your life about to shift. Do you understand what it means for somebody who's lived their life doing hair, making about 40, not reported, and then also getting about 8,500 back, and then they just all of a sudden shift your life?
Because that tax credit is gone for the kids.
No, it's
right?
gonna shrink down some, so you get 3 back. But also, you know how much of the ghetto is built on the domino effect of the 8,500 across the ghetto hitting that first 3 months. So everybody got money, and we just doing hair, we doing all kind of stuff. What happens when that dries up? And so I'm of less revenue into the government over the next 10 years.
Wow.
These are programs your family needs. What happens when your homeless brother, or your brother that's in the thing they put him after jail, he got to just come straight to your house for Thanksgiving. He got to come straight to your house for Thanksgiving.
He basically got to live with you.
So he does have to live with you. So we come back to your question, and I'll leave it at this: is what you got to really be able to see is how much you did in your life. If your parents, look, my mama and my daddy had me at 16. I went to UCLA and Loyola Law School. Got nominated for an Emmy. If I don't do nothing else in life, I did enough. Right. And I'm saying to
especially based on your circumstances and where you came from.
Yeah, and the timing. And the timing. You find somebody else. Everybody else in jail. Everybody else been to jail. That's got my story. And so, like I'm saying to you, what we got to start being able to do is look at your one child, and you done fed them the whole time. And let's say you get to the college age, and you don't have enough to pay for them to go to college. They didn't set it up for you to pay for your kid to go to college.
Right.
It's not your fault.
You know, it's interesting you talk about, look around at the people that are in your age group that are gone. You already know how I get down. Most of my week is spent driving my fucking son around to all of these various trainings and practices and workouts or whatever. And I went back to my high school because, you know, I had a training session in my high school in the gym. And the old security guard that was still there. And he saw me, he was like, nigga.
That's crazy.
Do you know how many niggas from your class is dead?
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what?
So finishing that was a real sad story. So, I'm in this cinema, but finishing it up.
I just thought we needed a breather.
Finishing it up. So, like, what we gotta understand to answer your question very concisely is wealth begets wealth.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, the things we talk about are wealth. So we say black people have more homes, then they will be more wealthy. Businesses, they be wealthy. Yeah, it take a couple $100,000 to start a good small business. They be wealthy. So what we do is then we take the onus off of government. We take the onus off of government and white America for one, appreciate how far you've come. But number two, understand your environment because it's about to shift it for the worse. Right. And so if you aren't ready, it'll have you depressed.
So let me ask you this. How does being apolitical help black people stay in the fucking hole? Boom. Financially, economically?
Well, I mean, I think that Shannon Dungy is a perfect example, the president of ABC, and what we see with her shows, wish fulfillment TV. Why black folks get wish fulfillment TV, but white folks get Roseanne? Right. And so,
Al Bundy.
Yeah. Well, she didn't put that on the air. I'm using Roseanne because she specifically said Roseanne is the voice of America. Then got credit for taking it off the air. It don't make no sense. You hired her. You don't get credit for firing her. So nonetheless, what I'm saying is we live in a moment where we need politics more than ever, and we need to understand who's in our group and who's not. You gotta start understanding if you don't get out here and go out and do part of the food banks, whatever you do, but you sitting up in your house plotting and planning how you.
Tone Talks. He comes on right after me. It's going to be a great show. Quick break. When we come back, I'm coming to the phone line. Caller, we want to know what you think. Thinking big versus thinking small versus thinking realistically. I want to know your opinion. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. We want to know what you think. This is a caller-driven show. You're listening to the voice of reason. I am him, ZoWilliams, sitting next to Mimi Michelle Duke. AKA Donnie Keith, as well as a blast from the past. Oh. You know who she is. Whitney Tabor in the building right now. ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the phone lines better be lit. 323-230-4610. I'll be back in 2.2. I'm ZoWilliams, the voice. To the voice of reason. The big hump's house. It's your house to see. That's your bar, boy. Hey, that shit lit, nigga. So tune in and get you some wisdom. From square kids to niggas that's just out of prison. So whether the saints and the heathen, get you some propaganda from the voice of reason. La 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 la. Let's get that zo real quick.
Yeah, let's get that zo.
Yo, you all gonna freestyle? Is that what I heard? You freestyle?
Oh no, ain't no freestyle.
I thought you was on it. Just kidding. I be loving these crazy things.
From when I was on my 2 times hit, and even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected. Reflected my effort of I have an idea, but I need it for certain.
We got lucky. We gave him a wide open $3.
That star in you. And it's not that far from you. From you. When we found reality is not on your screen.
30 seconds.
There's a show that's stopping you.
Phil. Reality is not all your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to Dash Talk Breakdown. Ha! Hey, yeah!
It's a show that's just for you.
Niggarachi.
Not Niggarachi.
Yo, we in the building right now. It's going down. Let me just tell you. The phone. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. You're listening to the voice of reason. Tonight's topic, man. Jeez.
Cheese.
Thinking big versus thinking small. Versus trying an act of thinking big. Gosh. Is thinking realistically the same as thinking small? If Black America has little to no wealth, will they have to adjust their aspirations? Empire build. We gonna build an empire, my nigga. Listen, I believe black pussy has magic in it.
It does.
It
We
does.
got power, baby.
So I believe.
Yes, it is.
I agree.
So I believe anything is possible when you got a pussy that got your back.
Yes.
I mean, really down, 4 feet, 4 tires, flat, down. But that's rare.
Super rare.
Jesus. Wow. Whitey, our good friends Whitey. We like to call him Whitey Locks. Whitey Locks is living smaller while Negroes are aspiring to live larger. Are we late on the money train? Somebody call us. We want to know what you think. Thinking big versus thinking small versus thinking realistically, a deeper look at the importance of mindset. Call us right now, 323-230-4610. Caller! You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason, Boost Mobile.
Oh, he's not thinking big.
Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you You from town. What up, town business?
Oh, you know nothing. I've been listening to your show for a while, and I'm just so appreciative of just everybody you introduced into my life, from, Tone Talk to my girl.
Hey.
Never nervous. But anyway, I wanted to get on to, I'm a 20-year-old real estate agent out here in Oakland, which is definitely very tough. I'm also an entrepreneur. I own a barber shop, an e-commerce business, and I started my journey in entrepreneurship when I was 18, and like my credit score is like 750 and stuff, and I'm able to do things now that my friends are not able to do, and it just makes me think like back to everything like I didn't listen to other people. Like my mom, like big freak over
I love you, girl. Gain the knowledge. But being 20 and doing all that, you got to pat yourself on the back. I feel like people don't support and women really don't uplift and take a second from the grind to be like, damn, I did a good job for a little bit. Okay, we're back at it. You know what I mean? It does help. So,
well, congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Wow.
Well, and she said something really important, actually, that I think people overlook is that she said she doesn't have a college education. And this report actually points it out, which is something that the Black community hasn't actually really caught on to yet, is that white people use education as a way to keep us in debt and not accessing wealth. So a lot of white people who send their kids to school can pay for it. So that's not debt for them. And so, like, in the Black community, we don't have a good understanding of the debt to income ratio and how that affects credit and our ability to access homes and wealth. So we sold Black people like education's your way out. But the problem is a lot of our kids are in debt to a point where the incomes they're making from these degrees they're getting don't overcome the debt that they've acquired.
Wow.
So when they go to try to buy a house, the creditors are like, nah, your debt outweighs your income. We're not going to give you shit.
Lock your ass into a bracket.
Right. You might need a Black doctor, but he got 200 G's in student loans, but he only going to make $100,000 a year versus that white doctor who has generational wealth and went for free. Him making 6 figures a year is actually income because he don't have student loan debt.
How about that?
So we haven't taught our children, like when I used to be a high school social worker, I used to talk to our kids about that. Like, I do encourage education, but understand, is the career you're pursuing, are you going to be able to get it? Do you have the skills to actually be successful in college? Because our kids are dropping out at ridiculous rates. They're getting in. First year rates are great. Second, third, and fourth year rates are shit. So they're getting debt and not even finishing the degree. So we're not really teaching our kids, like, is the career you're pursuing, are you going to be able to make an income that will pay off the debt you're about to fucking accrue?
My question is, too, for everybody, I guess, and maybe Zoe, too, you can kind of chime in on this, because I always see, I'm a educated woman, but I didn't graduate from college. I dropped out. My parents said, hey, if you don't want to do this, don't do this. I said, I'm out, bye. But I have a career and I make money and I have businesses and I have all these other things that I did without, by thinking big, I did without the needed, you're supposed to go to college and have all these, pieces of paper. So whoop-de-whoop. I want to ask, I guess, the panel, and then Zoe, you can maybe chime in.
I mean, it's my show, I guess. I might.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Zoe. No, but I'm saying is all of the media, all they talk about is, Black women are the most educated and they're the most number one graduated in this. Is that another way? Because you just said it yourself. There's all kinds of super duper magic that comes with Black pussy. Is that a way of white America making sure that Black people stay unwealthy by making sure that, Black girl magic, keep going to college and being in debt. But guess what? We're number one in education. How do you guys feel about that?
And then that turns into
to get jobs working for white people.
No. That's not what I'm. That's not.
I know
the
what
point
you're saying. Go so.
Where I'm going is the expectation of the man now is you got to make more money so you could help get this debt off of me.
Right.
And now that's my definition of a good man.
Captain Save a Hoe.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Where your cape at, nigga?
I feel like there is no more Captain Save a Hoes, though. Now, Black women are making more money and doing bigger things to the point where it's almost like, Zoe, we've had shows about, how Planned Parenthood made sure that welfare and all these things were created to make sure that the Black families do not come together so we can kind of rise. I feel like the educating, which I love being educated, and I want all Black women to understand that, yes, be educated as much as you want. But is that another way of people making sure that I don't want to be with no dumbass dude because guess what? He's just on the block doing this, that, and the third, and now I'm going to degrade him. I'm going to do this because I'm educated and I graduated and I make more money than you.
Wow, we got callers.
We just gonna, it's hot.
No, it's good shit. Right. Callers.
Right.
Welcome to the Voice of Reason. I want you to turn your whole spirit down. Your spirit is loud. Turn your spirit down. Turn it down. What's up, Pim? Welcome to the show, man. What's your name and where you calling from?
Joseph calling from Atlanta. How's everybody?
Joseph from the A. We good, man.
Hey,
What's
Joseph.
Hey, Mimi, Tiff, cold can of peaches, Whitney. Where the fuck you been? Hey, look here. So,
hey, look here.
Right? She been in Jamaica and shit. Okay.
Okay.
No. Hey, look. On a very personal level, though, I think the difference between thinking big versus realistically, is just keeping in mind like all of the steps that come. 100,000 is before $1 million. Everybody wants to be. I would like to be a millionaire, and I think I can do it. But it's like, it's okay to focus on making that $2,000 a week in order to get to the $100,000 level, and then knowing that be responsible, diligent, and consistent, with the resources that you have, and especially your time, and how you spend it or what have you, and then continue to just like marry the plan. You know what I'm saying, with how you spend your time, and make a long choice of good choices, a long list of good choices and good decisions in order to arrive at where it is that you're trying to go. And empires, I would love to build one. I feel like I'm on the right track, but I know that I got a lot of time between now and like that destination of like we made it. And more than likely, it probably won't happen in my lifetime, but if I can set my children up, financially and educationally, not talking about school or whatever, but just like principles and things of that into the plan, then, we can build an empire, but it might take, more than one generation.
I got it. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much for calling. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. You're listening to the voice of reason. I am him. Again, on Dash Talk, we want to know what you think about it. Today's topic, thinking big versus thinking small versus thinking realistically. A lot of people foolishly believe that thinking realistically is a fear-based form of thinking. Right. Some people think, oh, man, you're trying to rain on my parade by giving me the alternatives and the options and the cons of my thought. A lot of people don't want their dreams challenged. Please call us right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Listen, ladies, oftentimes our relationships suffer. Not because we don't have love, but because we allow society's definitions to fucking kill that love, to destroy that love. And I'm going to tell you right now, rich or poor, because niggas say that shit when they marry, but they don't mean it. Right. The reason why they don't mean it is because it's a higher level of consciousness. Love is it's a conscious state of consciousness. We don't have love. Right. What we have is a hope and a desire that someone will save us, not only from our internal demons, but from our financial demons. And that's why love and relationship become so transactional. I want to hear from people thinking big, thinking small versus thinking realistic. What are you in the game for? Call me right now, 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you're calling from? Hey, turn the outside down.
You and Tiffany should get together.
Turn your block down.
Call me right now.
Hey, the block is hot. Turn your radio down. Turn your computer down. Turn your spirit.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling from? There was a lot of shit loud in here. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Hello. Hey, hi.
Oh, okay, that's me. I thought you were talking to someone else when you said turn your light down. It's Dana.
Dana,
hello.
what
Happy
up,
Friday,
Dana?
everybody.
Hey, Dana.
Hey, I love this, mixing the current host with, previous host. Hey, Whitney.
Hey, girl, hey.
Peaches.
Hey.
Mimi.
Hey,
Tiff,
girl.
And, of course, Zoe. What I wanted to say about the topic is that I don't think there's anything wrong with setting, a big goal or anything like that. It's just I don't believe our community is realistic about the goal. Like the guy was just talking, and he was talking about, I believe we could build an empire, if not for me, for my children. But then you had Tone on 20 minutes ago talking about this is the real. Like, let me break this down about where our community really is.
Right.
And so I was listening to that, and I was just like, damn, did he hear? Okay,
no,
maybe it's not for everybody.
Dana, you know what's crazy? When it comes to money, niggas turn into Jehovah Witnesses.
They think they're gonna be the 1 in 1,600.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay, I get
they got
that.
the blind faith.
And
yeah,
I understand it, and it's kind of tragic because we're all not going to make it. But I believe if you set realistic goals, if our community heals from past hurts and we begin loving each other, then we can have whatever we're supposed to have.
Right.
So
I love you, Dana.
Dana is awesome, man.
Right.
That's right,
Thank you,
Dana.
thank you. Appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
mean, we have to really, set realistic goals and be realistic with each other. But until we start loving each other, looking out for one another, and looking at the data as a whole, we're not going to get anywhere. And I want to, I don't want to live next to somebody I don't know and, have to deal with all type of supremacy and all type of crap. I want to live next door to Tiff. I want to live next door to Mimi. I want to live next door to you.
Thank you. Aw, this is so sweet.
We're neighbors.
Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it,
baby. You guys have a great Friday. Keep the topics coming. You guys keep chiming in. I'll continue to call because it builds my esteem.
Oh.
And
support. Thank you.
Thank you,
all
Dana.
right, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Okay.
Dana.
So this
Bye.
is what I'm gonna do though.
Bye.
Like on some real shit, I'm gonna pay $500. I'm gonna give $500
To me?
to that to that Tulsa real estate fund, that IPO. I'm gonna put $500 on it. I don't
Okay.
give a fuck if it succeeds or not. I want to support my people.
Okay. Do it, Zoe.
My people fuck with me. I fuck with my peoples.
Right.
Do it, Zoe.
You understand? Because we never know. Listen, one thing I heard in the training session, like this trainer was training my son, Ansar. His show come on right after ours. Ansar told my son, he said, nigga, you don't make no shots you don't take.
Right.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Because what was cold was he was training my son, and then there were some trainers, some NBA guys on the other side. And the NBA guys wanted my son to join in with what they were doing.
Do it, New.
So my son goes over there, but they got him passing to their guys. And so Ansar was like, nigga, you just spent an hour passing with me. You don't want to train with them.
I got to work on my shots.
He said, nigga, I'm going to go back down on the other end where I'm getting shots because it's shot time on the other end.
Yeah.
Right.
I just spent an hour passing.
Right.
I'm not going to spend another hour passing because you need somebody to pass to the bigs.
Right.
He was like, and he was watching New on the other side while he was training another person.
Yeah.
And when my son came back, he chewed him out. I loved it. I was like, chew his bitch ass out.
He's so in your kids. Get him. He be in the ass.
So again, man, we don't make the shots we don't take.
Right.
That's it right there.
And the bottom line is, listen, I don't claim to know every fucking thing because I don't. I don't know all there is to know about this IPO, but I know you can't bullshit with the SEC.
That's true.
That part.
So this brother done went and put together some shit and got it certified with the SEC. I'm finna put my 500 in it.
All right.
Fuck it.
I mean, there's worse things you could put your money in. So,
Right.
Yeah.
You know how much, listen, most of the motherfuckers in the chat room fuck off bread all the time.
Yes.
All day.
But will come to this motherfucking show platform, get food ideologically, spiritually, emotionally from each other. But when it comes to investing in each other, that's when we got a big ass problem. And then we running around wondering why shit don't work out for us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the shit that bothers me more than anything else.
Yeah, black people find it, well, the sooner we recognize that growth is uncomfortable, the sooner we can grow.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, and can I jump in real quick, Joe? Joe, who the hell is Joe? Hi,
I don't know who Joe is. It's my homeboy from
Hey, Joe.
from
Joe.
Island Block
Damn,
Radio. What up, Joe?
Hey, Joe. Sorry, Zoe. What I was gonna say is also one thing that I think we all need to do is if I win, you win, regardless. This is Zoe's platform. But if we're all in it, we're going to win regardless. And it may not come now, but perseverance and thinking and working is going to make it happen. So my friend works in Vegas at Mayweather's nightclub. All his family is there, always. They're always there. It costs $50 a head to walk in the building. His mama pays, his uncle pays, his auntie pays. They pay for drinks, $20 a drink. But guess what? They all live, they do this. So we're putting money back into the business, which continues to make sure that we have money. If we all thought like that, instead of, hey, Zoe, let me get a free book, man. Let me, like, Tiff, come give me a free training session in the gym. Like, no, that's not how we actually acquire the things that we need to grow. So
You know, the best
Right.
example I've seen in my lifetime, the Wu-Tang. When I was at Loud Records in '94, as the senior VP of A&R West Coast.
Okay.
West Keezy.
Whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
You
Plugging it
understand? When I was at Loud Records, that was some shit. I was like 20-something, 23, 22, something. Nigga, when I found out the blueprint, it's 9 niggas in this group. What is this? The motherfucking Commodores of rap? What is this? The Earth, Wind, and Fire? There's too many niggas in here to make any money. And when them motherfuckers, the other executives at Loud Records explained their blueprint. No. It's 9 MCs, but every last one of them is going to have their own album. And they're all putting money back into the Wu-Tang. All those albums are all connected, and that money is coming back to the Wu. They bought a Wu mansion where they all was at.
They wasn't playing.
I was like, what? At different labels. Method, you going over here to Def Jam. Raekwon and Ghostface, you going over here to Loud Records. Where was my man? ODB. I forgot where he was.
RCA.
He was at. You get what I'm saying? We finna just put y'all in different spots and blow the whole shit. The Jizza was at Geffen. You know, they was just getting deals all over the place, and all that money was funneling back. The Wu did that.
Smart man.
That shit was power when I was a young kid. I was watching this shit happen. Again, if we don't come together, work together, support each other, there's no room for dreaming big. I keep telling y'all, all the dopest shit black people have ever created has been created under the duress of poverty.
Yes.
Motherfucking ragtime music.
Yep.
Poverty. Motherfucking blues. Poverty. Poverty and heartbreak. Oh, this is born out of fucking lack. Jazz music.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Thank
my
you,
God.
Jesus.
Hip hop. All this shit is born out of duress,
It's
out
like
of
a
poverty.
jungle.
So now my question becomes, imagine what the fuck we could create if we created a space that would free us up from the oppression of not having. Because, see, I believe the oppression of not having comes from seeking.
Yes.
Could you give me? Asking. Would you? Demanding. Can you? We deserve. Please give me. Give me. When we start coming together and saying, I ain't gonna do it if we ain't doing it.
Right. Well, what's funny
It's
is
another power source, man.
Tone actually gave us the recipe, but it would require the black community 2 to 3 generations of delayed gratification to execute it.
What?
So what he said,
I ain't delaying shit,
so
goddammit.
he said what's important in wealth is lineage, like
Right.
the money that your grandparents have and your parents. So what that would require as of today, for 3 generations from now, is for our current millennials to say, I'm gonna pay off all my debt. I'm gonna pay my house in full. I'm gonna pay my student loans off, and I'm gonna make sure I save enough money so I put my kids through college with no debt. So by the time it gets to the next generation, they're in a place where they're no longer in debt, and their money starts to turn actually into wealth. So by the 3rd generation, now we have generational wealth. It literally takes delayed gratification, but because we're so obsessed with consumerism, this is what happened. Example, my ex's cousin, his dad literally said, I'm gonna get the longest mortgage I can, and I don't care what interest rate it's at, because I wanna live the best life I can now, because I don't care if my kid inherits my debt when I die.
Man.
That's the kind of stuff that's hindering the black community. Like, we're not caring that we're encouraging our children to go to college, but we're telling them to also incur $40,000 to $80,000 in debt with incomes that don't make up for that debt. So to really overcome some things, like Tone actually low-key told us the answer, but it would mean we live less now, so our future
I'm not
can
living
be better.
small. Goddammit, I'm living my best life now.
my
I'm
God.
living. I want
But
all the
small
shit I
does not
want
mean
now.
less good.
You only get one motherfucking life.
Yeah.
I'm not living for the future.
YOLO.
The future ain't real. I'm real right now, my nigga. I need that motherfucking Mercedes Benz.
Preach. Well, it's kind of like my friends in high school, my Caucasian friends in high school, their parents would put credit cards in their kids' names instead of stealing their social security card so they can get some, I need cable because I got to watch Power every Saturday or whatever. They would put their credit cards in their kids' name. So by the time my homegirl graduated high school, she had like a 12,000, I don't even know if you can get that high, credit score.
850.
Okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's things like that we should do. Selflessness. Is that the word? So
right,
we got to do
right.
that.
Right.
And then, stop thinking about yourselves. You lazy mother.
Right, and pay the bill if you're going to put it in their name. It's okay, because some of us will put it in the name, and then they be like, shit, I ain't paying that. I got to go get something to eat.
Well, let me
I need a sack.
All
I
right,
need them Jordans.
I got 4 kids, so I got 4 chances.
Right.
At having cable in 4 different names at the same location.
Right.
And people don't understand what kind of shit that does to your kid. I remember I got my first apartment, first phone. I was so excited. And they was like, Miss Keith, you owe us $275. I was like, how is that? I'm just 19. What do you mean I owe you $275? Kind of find out a family member had a phone in my name when I was 7. Really, bitch?
Jesus.
Wow.
This before
Happens
the
all
internet
the
got
time.
popular, so they couldn't keep track of it. But they had a paper record of that shit. Bitch, you paying this or you ain't getting a phone.
Right.
All right. Well, let me just do this really quickly. Again, we don't have all the answers. We don't really know what the fuck we're talking about. We're just here to engage in the conversation and keep the conversation going. We want you to take this conversation out into the blogger sphere, talk about it, post the video, share the video. Let's continue the conversation. Again, I'm just here to fucking whack the hornet's nest so we can continue talking and discussing and sharing ideas and challenging thoughts that are heard here. Now, I want to introduce all of the girls in the crib. We got to do this really quickly.
Okay.
Whitney Tabor, where can they find you?
What's up, guys? You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Miss Tabor. That's MSTABER. Also, please follow my nonprofit organization geared to enhancing young girls. Girls Make Beats. I'll see
There
you
it is,
later.
Girls Make
All
Beats.
right,
Follow
that's
Whitney.
right.
And then, of course, Peaches.
Yes, you guys, if you're in the Los Angeles area, I got I don't know why my mind is in the gutter today.
Because you want that titty drain.
Anyways, I got a show at Echoes on Pico on the 6th, y'all. Come
Pico
through.
on the 6th.
Follow
Go
me
check her out.
at Donnie Keith Comedy on Instagram.
There it is, Tiff.
Hey, I'm Tiff Talk TV. You can find me everywhere on social media at TIFFTALK TV.
We love it. We love it. And Mimi.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Mimi. You know I'm keeping it real. Don't miss my show on acceleratedраdio.net, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Keeping it real with Mimi. Don't miss me. Keeping it real with Mimi on all social networks. And look out for us.
There it is.
Hey.
I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. It's Friday, the last show of the week. Don't get it twisted. We'll be back Monday with another slapper. Continue to share this video and continue to support all the black businesses that I put in front of you. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm ZoWilliams.